do you guys need tickets? Because my car's double parked, something like that.
Jesus was a ticket tout.
Jesus was a scalper.
It's one of the most salacious and puerile interviews I've ever read.
Yeah.
But very, very entertaining.
Hugely entertaining.
He talks about French-made shampoo, liver, and bread and wheelbarrows.
Yes, and carrots.
And carrots.
Let's not go down the carrot road. On the prosthetics, the misaligned nipples.
That really bugged you.
Look, no, it did.
When you showed me the picture,
I said misaligned nipples to my wife. She said to me, she said, they don't have to be twins, Ben, they can be sisters.
Hello, and 2, ready 3, and Woodley he. You're listening to the Exploded podcast, brought to you by three men who really should know better by now. I'm Tim Southwell, co-founder of Loaded magazine and author of Getting Away With It, the real inside story of Loaded. And I'm joined, as always, by Bill Burrows and Ben Marshall.
Hello, chaps.
Both of whom were editors-at-large during the Loaded adventure. Every episode, we're going to navigate the choppy seas of modern life via the lifeboat of Loaded magazine.
Did you write that?
I wrote that, yes. No, AI did not do that for me. Thank you very much. No, Kate did it. She's in charge, you know that. So, it's August 1994. Issue 5 of Loaded magazine, which we were all part of getting off the ground, is about to come out. The magazine is steadily gaining readers and is edging towards the magical 100,000 sales a month figure, which most commentators and even some of our own employees thought was impossible to achieve.
Can I just say one thing about that? Yeah, because this is quite extraordinary. Because I think the biggest selling men's magazine at the time was was GQ, right? And GQ I think was doing about 80,000, right? And it was seen as being an absolutely impossible thing to supersede. You could not supersede 80,000. That was just it was for the birds.
Not in 5 months.
Yeah, I mean, we even had people internally, people working for us, taking bets.
Yeah.
It's a guy called Mike Stead, who I believe has now sadly passed away. But he bet me and Michael he'd give us £1 for every sale we did over 100,000.
Fucking hell, poor cunt, he's dead.
Kill himself.
Yeah. So anyway, confidence is rising in the magazine and amongst all the people on it. And this issue is quite extraordinary, actually, because it's got a Damon Albarn interview, the crisp World Cup, which is probably one of the greatest moments in magazine history ever. Interviews with Dennis Hopper, Pamela Anderson, Sarah Cracknell, Damon Hill, The Prodigy, and Bernard Manning. We've also got a review of Definitely Maybe, Oasis' first ever album. A review of Men's Underpants by Barbara Ellen, titled Calvin Klein.
Top headline.
One of my favourites. And On the Road at Lollapalooza. So which one of those guys became on the cover? I know you know the answer.
Oh, of course we know the answer. Yeah. But, no, okay, so if I'd been editor at the time,
Which thank God you weren't.
Thank God I wasn't,
Yeah.
But if I had been editor at the time, I probably would have gone with either Dennis Hopper or Pammy.
Okay. So we didn't do any of that.
No, we didn't.
Instead, we did this. Which is basically our love letter to football, a declaration of our absolute adoration of the great game.
We all know why Leeds are on the front cover.
Oh, yeah, Leeds are on it, obviously, because me and James both supported Leeds. Yeah.
Why United?
Man United had just won the league, so we kind of had to. And we thought they hate each other, so...
Yeah.
The girls got on quite well, but the teams,
nice.
generally speaking, hate each other. Also interesting here, on the back... The advert on the back cover is...
It's a pint of
Blur. It's a pint of Blur.
Pint of Blur.
Park Life, yeah. So I'm thinking that they maybe even invented this creative for this actual magazine. Because would they put that on the GQ?
Well, we're going to come on to that, aren't we, when we talk about the Damon Albarn interview?
Have I gone ahead?
Well,
too far?
Really irrelevant, totally relevant.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Tim?
You can.
Yeah, since you was born in Birmingham.
Yes.
Why do you support Leeds?
That's a very interesting story.
Anyway, thanks for that.
You'll be the
Come
judge.
back next week.
You can be the judge of that. When I was living in a place in Buckinghamshire where there were no real teams to support when I was like 8, getting into football. I really like Leeds United because they played in white. They played in white, and they had players like Billy Bremner. They're all sort of household names even then for a kid. I had no one to really support, and I just jumped on them
because they were all white.
Well, they looked amazing. They had all white strip, and they had like really identifiable sort of players. Anyway, I don't know why. I just was drawn towards them, and they kept losing finals and finishing second in the league. And there was something kind of about that nearly men thing. They were underdoggy, even though they dominated that league and Europe for many years and for a 10-year period.
Dominate Europe.
65 to they were never out the top four. But anyway,
you didn't win in Europe, did you? Did you win any?
Yes, we did. You UEFA Cup twice. Thank you very much. Got cheated out of the European Cup. Okay, cheated out the Cup Winners' Cup.
Oh yeah.
And this list goes on.
I'm sure it does.
But anyway, so I supported Leeds, and obviously I was a big fan. But on back in the day, not much on TV. We were just about to emigrate to Australia, and my dad, bless his cotton socks, this is 1973, took me to Elland Road. To see them play Crystal Palace at home, because we were going to Australia, probably never going to come back, and this is one chance to do it. I should have been a West Brom fan or a Villa fan. That's where I'm from. I'm from Birmingham, but none of my dad wasn't that into it, so I was kind of left to my own devices to find a team. Anyway, I found Leeds. Anyway, he took me up to Elland Road, and we were like a little bit late, maybe 5 minutes late, and we parked the car and we're walking towards the ground. It was one of those really foggy days, right?
There's an interesting bit coming up.
This is the interesting bit coming up. Don't worry. So we walked to the ground and they said it's full. And I'm literally like crestfallen. Like, oh, we've come all this way and we can't get into the ground. And we turn around to walk away and it's so foggy, it's ridiculous, right? You can't see more than 10 feet in front of you. Anyway, out of the distance comes this sort of like Jesus figure, right? So
that is more interesting.
This is, okay, bear with me. And as he got closer, I'm only 8 or 9 or whatever, and I'm like, what's Jesus doing here? You know?
Did he have the full King Lear and everything?
It basically was a hippie that had forgotten their 60s had ended, right? It was like 4 years too late.
I love those guys.
As we were going past him, he said, do you guys need tickets? Because my car's double parked, something like that.
Jesus was a ticket tout.
Jesus was a scalper in his previous life, yeah. Anyway, and my dad was like trying to give him money and everything, and this guy gave us the tickets, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm tugging on my dad's arm, going, please, we can get in the ground, you know, it's so exciting. And I was like that, and then we started walking towards the ground, I looked round, and he was just gone. So
sounds a bit like a fever dream, but I'll take it.
I tell you what,
did you get into the game?
Jesus made me a Leeds fan.
Yeah, so the tickets were
100%.
real.
Yeah, the tickets were real.
Did
and
Leeds
the
They
win?
weren't
Did
magic
Leeds?
beans.
Yeah.
So
anyway, we went in
did
and
Leeds beat Palace?
They beat them 4-0.
Fucking
This is when they were like one of the best teams in Europe. You know,
a lot of my family and cousins are Palace supporters.
Yeah. Okay.
And obviously they got through yesterday,
Okay.
didn't they?
That's beautiful. Yes, they did. And congratulations to all.
Yeah, congratulations
all your
to Palace. My family, yeah.
Amazing.
My very large extended
So,
family.
guys, I want to ask you a question. What does this cover say to you?
It says that we're kind of making a move away from the standard photo shoot with a celebrity. It's a different kind of. It's brave. It's a brave cover. It doesn't really. I'm sure it'd been done before, but not by us.
I don't know. I guess so, but
But
yeah.
it's not a celebrity, is it? Nobody knows who those two girls are. It's saying, you know, football's as important as any celebrity. We're putting in the magazine.
Avid loaderists might know that's Rachel Bird, who was a regular appearer in our fashion shoots and what have you.
I don't think that would have occurred to me.
No, I don't think it would it? So, Ben, what do you think?
Well, I mean, the cover's great, and it's got a sort of odd timeliness, which I'm sure Bill will explain, because what's going on now, our three respective teams...
No, let me get into that. I'm going to build this up.
You're going to build it up,
build this up, then you can
and then
run
I'm
roughshod
going to be annoying.
with your intellectual mayhem.
Is Jesus in it?
Because Jesus has now parked the bus. He's basically there. So, funnily enough, this is a very special weekend for us three. In an act of almost splendid serendipity, I'll say that again, splendid serendipity.
I'm supposed to be the one with the long words.
Our three football teams have made the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Leeds United, Man City and Chelsea, which is kind of mad. 7 weeks ago when we started this podcast, I don't think we would have given odds on Leeds.
It's mad that you're there, yeah.
No, yeah, Leeds being in it is the miraculous thing. And obviously two of them are playing each other. Leeds United are playing Chelsea in a rematch of the famous 1970 FA Cup final.
Which is one of the most notorious football matches. What's interesting about that match is that referees have subsequently watched it, and they reckon that if you were refereeing it today, there would have been 11 red cards or 11 sendings off at the time. Sendings off, right?
There were tackles at neck height.
Yeah, it was just extraordinary. Hugh McIlvenney later wrote, I think in The Observer at the time, I think he's writing for The Observer, I could be wrong, apologies if I am, that the only way that ref was going to get you sent off was if you actually killed someone. You actually would have to actually kill somebody on the pitch. And Billy Bremner, I think, remembers that he kept they kept thinking the ref was going to send somebody off because he kept going for his notebook.
Yeah. They didn't have red cards back then, did they?
No.
Yellow cards.
Yeah, which was Bill reminded me of recently, and in actual fact, he was just going for his bins. He was just going for his bins, giving them a little polish, going, oh, no, that seems all right to me.
Shouldn't he have had them on when he was refereeing?
Oh, you would think it would be a good idea, yeah.
Well, this was Dirty Leeds, wasn't it?
Dirty Leeds got the reputation in the late 60s, really, or 67, 68, when they did use physical tactics to kind of get in. Because they didn't have as good a side. As
because Chelsea played beautiful football, whereas you played filthy football.
You were Southern Ponces.
Well, look, there's this cliche which really obviously cuts to the quick as someone who was born in Chelsea, right? It's the fact that we were this kind of like this bunch of limp-wristed fops that kind of spent our whole time like sipping champagne.
Yeah, that's exactly what you
Steady.
Champagne drinking.
Drinking champagne with Michael Caine on the King's Road.
Alan Hudson, all that kind of good.
Whereas we knew that you lot basically married whippets.
Well,
That's
yes.
a bit harsh.
Well, I think that is slightly harsh, yeah. But there was an element of Leeds being the kind of the dour Yorkshire kind of outfit.
Well earned.
And Chelsea being the, as in the Southern Dandies.
The Southern Dandies, yeah.
There's a point you're both totally missing here. That game, the replay.
Oh, by the way, before
reason,
you get to that was the second. You told me this. The replay, which was the second highest viewing figures ever for a sporting event in this country.
No, it's the second after the World Cup final.
Yeah, after the World Cup final. That's amazing, isn't it?
It is incredible.
Yeah.
And because it leads and so many people were watching that game,
Yeah.
the same night, City won their first trophy in Europe. The European Cup Winners' Cup against Gonitz Breezy, which, of course, is the only time it's not been on British television when the British team's been in the final.
Yeah.
Because you two gits.
Do you feel robbed of the limelight?
Could you not?
No, because we've got it now, haven't we?
Yeah, well, you have got it now, yeah, to be fair, yeah, and you did trash us the other day, so... but don't you feel as though it was probably more to do with the lack of TV channels, Bill, rather than
because
picking
there
on
were
you?
cameras there, but they just chose not to show it.
Who were you playing in the final?
Gonitz Breezy.
You see, no one's ever heard of them, have they?
It's Cup final. We were winning European trophies before Liverpool. We won a trophy before United and the FA Cup before Arsenal.
And the main thing is you're not remotely bitter about it.
No,
that's nice. It's good to see.
Beautiful. Okay, so the 70 Cup final was... Look, good luck this weekend, Ben. I hope you lose 5-0.
Thank you.
And by the time
Sweet
this
of
has come
you.
out, we will know who's won that. And should we have a wager?
Yes.
Should we have a little wager?
I'll hold
Well, I'm, as you know,
A tenner.
That's literally the only bad habit I've never indulged in is gambling.
Okay, but will you
Notice you start. Too late to
acquiesce?
start.
for
All
one
right,
time?
fucking hell, yeah. All right,
A tenner.
yeah, go on.
Okay.
Nice.
There you go. Chelsea scum.
Did it go 2 penalties on the day?
No, what the
Not
final?
on the replay, is it?
The replay?
It's
No,
gonna
it
take
didn't.
place when we're playing.
No, it was the first ever replay as well. Yeah,
think
so
it
you
was.
wouldn't have got on until midnight.
Wasn't it?
If
It was
you-
the 81 replay against City Tottenham.
Yeah, no, you've
Not a
divulged
great
onto
result,
an
yeah.
area I'm not
Let's
familiar
move on.
with.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so the next feature we have is Fly Me to the Mars, where one of you gets to send somebody to Mars because basically they can get to Mars, but they can't come back.
Yeah,
so it's got to be somebody you really don't like.
So I'm spending a lot of time reading and listening to podcasts about astrophysics.
Of course you are.
Yes, no, I fucking am.
Yeah.
Right, and one of the more interesting things is that you can definitely get to Mars. That is
Yeah.
unquestionable, yeah? But you can't get back.
Yeah.
So I thought,
The
given...
vector wave argument.
It's don't confuse me now, because I've got my astrophysics confused. So I thought we should send... There's so many people I would like to never
Yeah.
come back, right?
It's
And
a-
obviously I'm not into, I'm not into capital punishment or anything, and they haven't probably committed any actual crimes.
Possibly you could consider this to be worse.
Well, hopefully worse. So you put them on the spaceship, you send them out there,
Yeah.
right? I'm proposing, since he has the means and since he's got the T-shirt, I'm proposing Elon Musk, first person we send to Mars, yeah? Right? First person.
So he
How about
disappears off
yourself?
the face of the earth and he can never come back.
Yeah, because he's wearing the fucking T-shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got Occupy Mars bollocks. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got the rockets. He can
He's
do
asking
it.
for it.
We'll see
He's
how-
literally
we'll see how
asking
we'll see
for
how
it.
clever he is.
Yeah.
See if
Yeah.
he actually did build it
Can
himself.
he get back?
Yeah, can you get back?
Yeah.
God, smart.
I don't, and then we get other people to join him, and I
Yeah.
want him living in like some sort of little kind of glass fucking igloo type thing, and he's got to fucking recycle his own feces in order to be able to eat. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Challenging.
You know, it's hard work up in Mars, yeah. But he wants to go. Send him.
Yeah. Listeners, please send in your...
send in your suggestions, yeah. You send in your suggestions.
Don't say your girlfriend or something because you've had a row. It's got to be something...
No, that would be horrible. Also, I don't think... I think if we do start sending women to Mars, yeah, we can't let them anywhere near Elon Musk because he breeds like a fucking ferret, that man.
He does, doesn't he?
Ferrets breed a lot, does he?
They do, apparently so, yeah.
Hasn't he? Is he
I'm also listening to a lot about ferret biology, yeah.
Isn't he trying to spread his brilliant DNA so the world...
Yes, that's true. No, he genuinely believes... This. I'm not making this up, right? I mean, I know it sounds like I am. But he genuinely believes that the world needs more of his DNA, and therefore every woman he meets, he feels as though he should have a baby with, yeah, because he's doing the world a service in Mars.
Do you think he'll set up he'll find some Nazis up there that he can gang up with?
No, we're sending up the other Nazis. I mean, Peter Thiel's going to be the next one. I'd propose him.
Don't reveal.
What about English people?
Well, we're going to have a couple of English people. I mean, Boris Johnson.
You would send him up, would you?
No,
I'd definitely send up for Boris Johnson.
Would you?
Well, he could eat Elon Musk's feces.
Yeah. Well... That's what would happen, is it? They start to
They would start eating one another's feces.
Yeah, like they did on Blackadder when they had to drink each other's wee. Because
they'd have to drink each other's wee as well.
Ricky Villa.
Just to vary it up a bit.
Can we send Ricky Villa up?
Ricky Villa?
Yeah.
Why Ricky Villa?
He scored the winner in 81.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Forget 81.
I can't.
It's over. But you did score a very good goal in the final.
Yeah, the better one, yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Please, next time Bill will be selecting someone to send to Mars and never come back.
Exactly.
So our next feature is the John Wilde loaded interview. We mentioned Damon Albarn is in the issue. So Bill, tell us. This is a very controversial interview, and I got a load of flack from the PR because they said they were concerned that the article was, it wasn't what they wanted it to be.
It was definitely not what they wanted it to be.
It's so controversial that I can't really read much of it out because it was at that unfortunate time when he decided that he was going to become a lad.
Yes.
By the way, can I just say, I love Damon Albarn. Yeah.
Can I just say, in one little bit?
He supports Chelsea.
Can I just say,
I think he was also born in Fulham, Chelsea,
good.
West London.
Of course he was. Posh London.
Yeah, but
Fop London.
Fop London.
There's a picture of him.
Because that's what we were like.
There's a picture of him here.
We just mince around.
That's what you like. Damon Albarn.
That's actually what I used to look like.
Yeah.
Look at the state of him.
Yeah.
You just go, what do you want?
I think he looks fucking
I
gorgeous.
thought you were staunch.
I thought you were staunch.
Do you remember that acting? He had a go at acting, didn't he, in some gangster film? And his big thing was like, he had to go...
He was great.
I thought you were staunch. He sounded like Frank Spencer.
Can we just lay off Damon, please?
Can we go on? Can we go to the headline for a start off? I mean, that's probably the best thing. Question. That is the headline with the camera there.
Go on.
Would you give the Queen a good seeing to?
Yes, it's obviously the first question I'd ask.
Answer, I would have been happy to give her one when she first came to the throne.
Okay.
Now,
and it basically goes downhill from there. Basically, it becomes an awful area.
It's one of the most salacious and puerile interviews I've ever read.
Yeah.
But very entertaining.
Hugely entertaining.
He talks about French maids, shampoo, liver, and bread and wheelbarrows.
Yes, and carrots.
And carrots.
Let's not go down the carrot
road. Track it down if you can get it on eBay, that issue. But the point is, he wasn't authentic. He was trying to become a lad, and he clearly wasn't a lad. He was trying too hard. And I've been against him since that, I think, since I read that piece.
Against him?
Against him.
You turned into an 18th century gold prospector.
Can I just say about Damon? He's one of the nicest, smartest men that I've met, and I've interviewed him several times. I also think he's a brilliant musician. Yeah. Love his songs.
I've got to say, the new Gorilla stuff is
the new Gorilla stuff is absolutely amazing, and I shall be coming back to him later on.
Will you?
No, I will
really?
be.
What you do in your own time is up to you, mate. I don't mind.
Because he's a great artist.
Okay, so that was a really... Well, it caused a big stir at the time, and I gave Loaded magazine a little bit more, reputation, I guess, as a kind of feisty, unpredictable kind of magazine, which didn't do it any harm.
EMI called it, didn't they, after the interview?
Yeah, my good friend now, Karen, from EMI.
You would not want to be on the wrong side of that woman.
No, she could be quite fierce. She called me up and literally tore me off a strip when she saw that.
Your fucking ears.
All I'll say to anybody is if you can find a copy on eBay, we can't get involved for legal reasons any further than this. If you can get a copy on eBay, that I would suggest you do it.
But bear in mind, they've taken the most expensive advertising space on the magazine as well.
Because I believe that this is time to say they were very, very different times.
Very good.
Okay, so now we're coming to Car Park's curious corner of captivating quotations. I keep getting that right.
You do. It annoys
You know,
me.
That's
I got,
amazing.
It annoys me. That.
I got told off by Kate because I was doing the, the beginning bit when I say for men who should know better by now. That was wrong every single week.
It was.
Did you get it wrong?
What
Yeah,
is it?
every
What is
week.
it?
It's not even
I
that
can't remember
hard.
now.
It's there behind you.
For men who really should know better by now.
No.
No?
Let's do
Is that
the,
it?
Do
Thank
the car
you.
park thing again.
Okay, here we go. This is Car Park's, as I said, corner.
Hello there. I'm Car Park. Yes, that's right. Welcome to Car Park's curious corner of captivating quotations. I shall read excerpts from Getting Away With It, the real inside story of Loaded, by Tim Southwell. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I shall begin. Who said this? It was like being in a treehouse. There was no place like it. You've got to put up or shut up straight away. It's a high-octane level of discussion going on, and it's non-stop, and you can't miss a minute. If you like that kind of atmosphere, you're going to enjoy it in there, but a lot of people were intimidated by it. That was, of course, Bill Burrows, the editor-at-large.
You said it.
I know you did.
Can I just say that is brilliantly observed? Because
A treehouse.
no, I genuinely think it just to kind of like a few sort of observations off the top of my head, yeah. But the thing is that it was an intimidating place if you weren't. You
take
pretty
many
much
days,
knew that
yeah.
whether you could fit in or not, yeah. And if you pretty much felt as though you didn't, you were probably better off
Not being involved.
fucking off immediately.
Yeah.
And I like the subs office just behind it. So you came in, you walked left, and then bang, you were in full view of everybody. It all started.
Yeah.
In the subs office, it was kind of glass house, and it was just off. The tension in there, the people. It was. I think I described it as like the scene in Airplane. Like they give up glue sniffing. They're all going out of their minds. Nobody delivered any copy.
Yeah.
Everything was wrong. Putting fires out, literally sometimes.
Yeah, it was a mess, wasn't it? It was.
Fantastic.
Christ knows how it actually came out every month. It was difficult to.
The strange thing is, as well, just from the point of view of Bill and I were editors at large, right? And one of the
So you had
things,
no responsibility other
Didn't you
other
know-
No,
didn't
other
have
than
go-
to get in
but-
trouble.
But the
Didn't have to
thing,
go in.
we didn't have to go in. But the thing is, it was such. If you did get on in that environment, it was the best place in the world to go. So you'd go in, not to give in copy. You just go in to be there,
Hang out. Yeah.
to hang out.
So I think
Oh, there's Robbie Williams.
listeners, stroke viewers need to know that I don't think it was an aggressive place at all. It was much more just a bit of a madhouse, and people were just having a laugh, mostly at each other's expense.
Yeah, I think it. But the other thing was that there was this external. There was a significant amount of external hostility to the magazine quite quickly, and because of that, it kind of gave you this sense of almost being in a kind of gang, and that idea of kind of we sort of hung out with one another, and we moved we moved as a sort of team. We moved around London
Like a load of wolves on acid.
Yeah, like Pussycats.
No,
on
the
acid.
magazine had the advertising guides and the designers and the subs and the writers and the photographers all going out together. Normally they hate each other. You know, it was fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was, as you say, you had to have a very good sense of humour and very, very self-deprecating.
Because it was.
And because it was
Different times.
It was different. Well, I've done it as well now, so you've got to do it again. Okay, that's Car Park's little bit, and we've responded beautifully to that. So now you get to choose your favourite article from the magazine. Ben, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I do actually. I want to pick Barbara Ellen, the rather brilliant Barbara Ellen, who's still a columnist at The Observer.
Yeah.
And she's written this thing under the headline Calvin Decline, which is basically, quite rightly, taking us all down a peg or two. That's men in general, yeah. For just because, she's slagging off our underpants. Yes, she is. Yeah. And the thing is that it is a brilliantly written piece and very, very well observed. women do pay attention to their underwear. Men sadly do
So do
not.
men.
Yeah.
I mean, to
No,
women's
I mean,
underwear.
to women's underwear we do. Yes. Sadly, not to our own. And this is the point she's making. She's making like, smarten yourselves up, you fucking bunch of
The
melts.
headline is great.
Yeah.
I interviewed Calvin Klein about 4 years after this came out. And normally when you interview someone like Calvin Klein, you have to submit the questions in advance. Fax them over, they're not doing that one, not doing that one, not doing that one. And that is quite intimidating.
Yeah.
Because when you get, it was Milan Fashion Week, and when you get there, there's like 6 or 7 women dressed immaculately in Calvin Klein, obviously.
Yeah.
About 6'2", most of them. And they are the gatekeepers to Calvin Klein. And so you go through there, and you double check the questions. You mean you've got to have a suit, you've got to look pretty good to do, as good as you can to get through. And then going through, and I could tell there was something that wasn't offered him, but he was relaxed. He was in a good mood. And so you get through the list of questions you've got, and you think, well, if they throw me out now, it doesn't matter because I've got the questions.
Yeah.
I've got the answers. So I thought, well, I'll push it a little bit. And so I said, do I wear your underpants? Why do I wear your underpants? And someone went, that's not on the sheet. And he went, fuck off. Just told me to fuck off. And he said, I'll tell you why. It's because I guarantee your cock will not fall out of your pants. He said, that's not funny, that's not funny. He said, he can bread what he wants. And then as soon as that happened, you're in control because they can't say anything.
Yeah.
He dismissed him in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a
I've
brilliant
been in that
interview.
situation.
And it was weird because, I don't know what space he was in at the time, but about a month later, he was on the front page of the papers. He'd been at a basketball game, an American NBA game, and he'd gone onto the court for the seat at the front row.
In his pants?
Not in his, he might have been wearing his pants underneath, but he was obviously in a state where he was, pushing boundaries and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got him at just the right time. But that was a great headline, isn't it? Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein, fantastic, and she is and remains actually one of the best British journalists around.
Brilliant, right?
Barbara
Absolutely
Ellen, yes.
brilliant, Barbara Ellen.
Yeah, so for a bit of background, she's she started at Loaded. Well, she was on
She was on
Music
NME
Press,
actually,
yeah.
NME and various other things. But I mean, she was just consistently. That's always the first thing I go to when I buy the Observer. I always go to her piece first. Whatever she's writing about, whether she's writing about politics or popular culture or whatever it might be. And we were very lucky to have her writing for us.
Yes, we were. Can I have the magazine for a second?
Absolutely.
I'm going to choose mine now. This is probably one of the defining moments in Loaded magazine history. The Crisp World Cup.
Oh yeah. And that became super famous.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing before you say that? I'll say how big it was. So this is the next issue.
Yeah.
Which is mine, but you can't find yours. That's probably because it says on the front, Tim's copy, do not take.
I wonder where it was.
I've had that for 30 years. All the letters are absolutely, they're in uproar about the result.
Yeah.
Very controversial.
The result was not perhaps what you would have thought.
Yeah.
So basically what we had was all of us around the office, and we had obviously a lot of crisps, and I think there was same as the World Cup, 32 teams or whatever it was, and we narrowed it down. So I won't tell you all of the ones, but when it got down to the
Can we go for the quarterfinals?
the semi-finals, right,
All right.
were Walker's cream cheese and chives
Cool. What Ponce suggested that?
Outlier.
versus Walker's
But that was the design team, wasn't it?
versus Walker's beef and onion.
Solid.
And the winner of that was Walker's cream cheese and chives. The second semi-final was Pringles Lights.
It's probably all Chelsea
I
supporters.
think by this stage people were so sick of
It was us.
eating
It was us.
crisps.
It feet Southerners.
It's a taste test,
I said, well, yeah, but we've got to choose our favourite ever
you gotta
crisp.
taste them, yeah.
And they were up against McCoy's Chili in the final. In the semi-final, sorry. And McCoy's Chili went on to win that
You can see why
semi-final.
it's so controversial, can't you?
Yeah, but I voted heavily for McCoy's Chili because they were just awesome.
When you say
And
heavily, you mean you had more than one vote? You rigged the voting?
But other people were throwing up everywhere, and I just got in there while they were being ill. And the winner of the very first ever Crisp World Cup was McCoy's Chilies, which was a controversial moment.
Did
as
he
you
still
said.
make? Did he still make them?
They do,
Do they?
but they're like ridge cut things now. They're really nice.
Yeah.
But
Are they? Is the government planning to put health warnings on crisps? Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know.
You'd
I heard that.
Why?
You've got
Well,
Keir
because
Starmer's
they're
ear.
fucking unhealthy. I mean,
We know
different
that.
times back then. Obviously, back then
Did
they
you
were.
just
Back
do
then
that
there
so
was
you could
probably a
get the
health
belt?
food.
Did you do that so you
No,
could
I
get the
did not.
belt?
No, I did not do that. But no, I think there is a rumor.
They're going to
that-
tax crisps.
Well, not tax them.
there's a vote, wouldn't
No, but I think no. Hold on a second. Yeah. Go on, Starmer.
Yeah,
Taxing.
go on.
Go on.
I've
Yeah.
got an idea.
Still there.
Prove that you can lose it even worse.
Yeah.
But No, I think what they're doing is they are banning advertising of crisps after a certain hour.
Yeah.
Which I think is sensible, by the way.
I love crisps, though.
Yeah, but that's fine for you.
Yeah.
You're not 9 years old.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, I'm probably the one that should be avoiding them.
Right.
You know, well, you know, dodgy ticker and all that, you know.
He should be, yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
We will do.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to move on to it's not our last feature, it's one of our last features. It's called Planet of the Vapes, where we ponder and try to decipher the world of Gen Zs and millennials probably, but mostly Gen Zs.
Because we've got them.
Because we've got them. I've got kids who are that age. You've got nieces and nephews of that age.
Yeah.
You've got kids of that
one
age.
of them's here.
One of them's over there, so he's probably going to start throwing stuff at us in a minute. So we try to figure out what's irking us or fascinating us really about that generation. Ben, you've got something to add into this.
Well, it's down to my sort of continuous distress about mobile phones, basically, and the fact that and I'm not sure. This is not, by the way, I'm not knocking anybody for this, right? I find it quite remarkable that you can get like my niece or nephew can be watching a drama on the TV as well as communicating with our mates on Instagram or something, right? And I think, is this a sort of a fantastic sign of like a very well-developed brain,
dexterity
and multitasking, or is she simply not paying attention? And I have no way of answering that question.
No, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because
but also it's infected me now.
Yeah.
I do the same fucking thing.
I'll tell you why it has.
Go on.
Because we did this last podcast.
Did
you
we?
weren't paying attention.
Your brain's been rewired to the point where you don't know what's happening yesterday.
This is literally the same. Well, I brought this up twice now.
But we didn't mention football last time, and as it's a footy based show.
Okay, all right.
For me,
football.
I used to get really irritated with Alfie and Sonny, my boys, when we get to watch Leeds on the telly. They're all Leeds fans, and we'd be watching it. It'd be like a big important game, and they're just like, and I'm like. But then eventually you just submit, don't you? And you just do it yourself.
And you start doing it yourself.
Yeah.
That's terrible,
No,
man.
I've never done that.
Haven't you?
Have you never done
Well,
it?
don't you stop your kids from having
They don't have
the
brought them
phone?
up not to do that.
Yeah,
What, do you confiscate their
No,
phones?
they have to. When you're watching football, that's a no-no.
Don't
No,
you-
I think you're
do you-
right. But yeah.
So you're like a school teacher, are you? When the
been
football's
brought up
on, you
correctly.
confiscate
This is
all
not
the
problem,
phones, you
it's
put
not
them in a
the-
drawer.
It's not the vape kids, it's you two. That's the problem. Not brought them up right. I've got a millennial word for you for vape. See if you can guess what it is.
Okay.
Prinks.
Prinks. P-R-I-N.
K-S.
Is that an acronym?
Prinks.
No.
Prinks.
Have a guess.
Is it part?
Maybe it's like a trick. Playing a trick on
No.
someone. No? Like
part-
a prank trick.
Give up.
No, give
Part
up.
prick, part wanker.
You see, again, that says
Do you
more
go-
about
I don't
you.
fucking know, do
It's
I?
more about
Gotta
you.
go
That
there.
doesn't
Say anything
generation.
about me at all.
No.
No.
It says zero about me.
It actually means,
You-
rather innocently, pre-drinks.
Ooh. Oh, what
Yeah.
a bunch of ponces.
Because they
Yeah.
can't afford to go out anymore, which is fair enough. 'cause
No,
it
that is fair
expensive,
enough, actually.
So
What
they drink at home.
What a bunch of
What
Kings
a bunch
Road
of
ponces.
prinkers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you'd stop bringing up the King's Road.
Look, I've got one for you. Silent walking.
What? That sounds like a Japanese horror film.
What is it?
I've no idea.
It does, doesn't it, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds quite harrowing.
Yes, it does.
No,
yeah.
all it means is walking without headphones. Is that a real thing? Will, is that a real thing?
Help us
Okay.
out. Yeah, silent walking is actually a
Help
real
us
thing.
out. help a few old fellas out. We haven't got a clue what's going on.
Silent walking.
Yeah.
So how would that fit in a sentence? Oh, I was just silent walking down the street the other day.
Walking
Heard
without
a bird.
headphones. Yeah.
But,
Well,
surely
actually absorbing the actual what's
The
going
actual
on.
noise around you
Yeah.
and not getting run over.
How novel.
They call that mindfulness if you go in the countryside, don't they?
Or just
I
going
don't
for
think they
walks.
do
walk.
actually,
Yeah.
Tim. I think
Yeah.
mindfulness is a form of meditation.
Is it?
Yes.
Don't get
Okay,
him on
we
that.
should do
Christ
something.
in heaven.
Move on.
We should do a whole episode on mindfulness. No, we
Okay, let
shouldn't.
me know when you finish.
No. Okay, so here's the thing. What would you think life would be better if social media disappeared tomorrow?
Of course I fucking do.
You hate it, don't you?
I fucking... Do you know what? I was so good at it as well. I was
Don't drop the
absolutely
C
brilliant
word.
at it.
Don't drop the
I
C
was
word.
absolutely brilliant at it, right? And then my wife said to me,
I haven't seen you for 6 months.
yeah, exactly, something like that, yeah. And then when I came off of it, right, she said, "Oh, you're much more chilled out as a person." And I realised I was spending like large parts of my day, yeah, right, arguing with wankers I've never fucking met.
Yeah. Yes. You're an angry poster.
I'm a very angry. I was shit poster.
Yeah. Shit poster. Is that-
Shit posting's
that
a
a
thing,
thing?
Will. back me up here.
Is it?
It
A
is.
Gen
It's
Z
shit
thing?
posting.
Or an old person thing.
No, it's a fucking thing.
Yeah, now we're going to get accused of shouting at the clouds again. Right?
Again. Who said that?
We're a bewildered old men that don't know what's going on anywhere. So, okay, so you think it could disappear tomorrow and that'd be that? And
No,
you'd
I
be
don't
happy?
think that would be that. I mean, I think there'll be lots of protests and all the rest of it. No, but I think the world would be massively improved. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it wouldn't help our podcast.
Well,
would
it might help the youth get organised then. You know, to
Do
protest.
you know what? Funny about it, I think we were talking ages ago about the fanzine originality, where we all came from. I think if I was 18, 19, 20 now, I'd be putting a fanzine together because it's the only way you can't get any data on you. You can't be tracked. You can say exactly what you want. Find a printer, print it, get it out there.
Don't put the address in.
Don't put your address in. Or the price on the front of it like I did
Don't
once.
dox yourself.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a way you could go underground and, start again. Fanzines are definitely the way forward.
Yeah. I think it's a very liberating thing doing a fanzine because there's no limitations to what you can do.
No.
You can basically just choose to write about whatever you want and just for viewers that weren't part of the first couple of episodes where we talked about fanzines are basically a magazine that you create yourself, and normally they're kind of stuck together with staples and it's just Xerox paper, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Do anyone know what Xerox is nowadays? No, probably not.
Probably
okay,
not, no.
photocopied paper.
Right, no one knows what photocopies are,
No,
mate.
okay,
Paper.
It's paper you fax. Just talk
look,
about fax machines, shall
you
we?
see this stuff
Shall we talk
here?
about fax machines?
I had a
stuff.
telegram
I think we
about
should.
that the other day.
This stuff is... I'll tell you what, 0898 numbers. Talking
Hang on a minute, where are we going now?
No, no.
See, that's him as well. See, that's how his mind works. Look at that.
No. We're talking about
Shocking.
football, right? We're talking about
Absolutely
football.
shocking.
Don't you remember back in the day, and this will
Club
become a
call.
complete anathema to anybody of any other age group. Club call.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to find out how your team was getting on, there was no immediate Sky Sports
No.
news
Oh, you ran
updates
an
and stuff like that.
0898
You
number.
phone an 0898.
Oh, I
there's a
see.
bloke-
I thought you were talking about the pornographic ones.
No,
There's a bloke at the football ground, whether it's Elland Road or Main Road as back in the day, or Plymouth.
Yeah.
Your team's playing Plymouth away, and you can listen to them commentating
Right.
on the phone.
Oh,
and it was about £1 a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. You can just about excuse that. It was in the build-up to the match when they'd give you the who's injured, who isn't. And you
Yeah.
then go, the phone bill's in, £14,000.
Yeah, we had 3 matches last week.
But also, it was all the trick if they kept you hanging on. We'll come at the back. At
Yeah.
the end of this, we're going to tell you who City are going to buy
Yeah.
next. And you go, come on.
But the thing is, though, even though you knew it was stupid and you were being taken advantage of, you could not help yourself.
I know.
If it was an important match, you'd try and leave it to the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so you're only going to be exposed to about a tenner or something.
It must have made a fortune.
They must have made an absolute killing. That's probably what Netflix is now or something. They just took all the money from
I've
us.
forgotten about it. Do you still know the number off by heart?
Oh, wait. No, I don't actually.
Do you know the swap shop number off by heart?
No. Swap shop?
No.
01
Swap shop?
811
What,
8055.
what's swap shop? People
Swap
don't
shop?
know.
No. Of course they don't. Our viewers and listeners do.
Yeah.
Two options, wasn't there? Swap
I'm
shop
hoping
or
there might be
Tiswas.
somebody under the
By the way,
age
can I
of
just
80
make one
watching
remark
this.
about phone numbers? Yeah, right. So you remember there was a magazine show. There was a magazine show called 01 for London. This was back when London's STD code, their introductory code was 01. Yeah, right. So I am up in Glasgow with Richard Jobson. Yeah, we're
the
wandering
Skids?
about. Yeah, from
From
the
the punk
Skids.
rock
Yeah,
band, the Skids?
Yeah, from the punk rock band, the Skids. Yeah, and this Glaswegian Ned walks up to him and he goes, I love your programme, Oi for London.
Oi for London.
Which is a better name, to be honest.
Which actually is a better name, yeah.
Okay, chaps, we're nearing the end now, but we have one last little feature, which Ben is going to furnish us with. We're going to do Rogue of the Week. This is where we choose... Back in the day in Loaded, you had...
Is he doing it because he's your favourite? Or?
Yes, he is,
Yeah,
yeah. He was the one on the train with me coming up here today.
Right, I'll
So,
get it,
so Rogues, we call the Platinum Rogues in Loaded, and it's basically a catalogue of bad boys behaving that month, or women behaving that month in a amusing or slightly... antisocial
Appalling.
way or
Morally
appalling way, you know,
Yeah.
it can be lots of different things. But so we're going to do one. We're going to revise it for now. And Ben, you've got one. That
I
you
do have one
particularly
actually.
wanna
I do
talk
have one.
about.
So Kirsty Noem was the Donald Trump appointed head of ICE. These terrible human beings went around kind of expelling sort of perfectly legitimate citizens from the and occasionally killing them, right? Anyway, she's also known as Ice Barbie because of the plastic surgery she's had done. Anyway, top and bottom, her husband has just been caught in a Daily Mail / New York post scam, not scam, kind of capture thing, yeah, where he basically dresses up as a Barbie doll, complete with massive prosthetic knockers, yeah, right, and sits there looking at a woman, an actual woman, like, hold up, no, let me finish, yeah.
Careful now.
Got massive prosthetic knockers, and works himself into oblivion, yeah, right, and. Obviously, Kirsty Noam, you'd want to send to Mars, yeah? Question. Yeah. This fella, right, I've actually got some sympathy with him. I don't want to kink shame anyone. I don't want to kink shame. Misaligned nipples. Did not enjoy that at all. The misaligned nipples really
on the prosthetics?
On the prosthetics, the misaligned nipples.
That really bugged you.
Look, no, it did.
When you showed me the picture,
I said misaligned nipples to my wife. She said to me, she said, they don't have to be twins, Ben, they can be sisters. Anyway, top and bottom... Right?
Top and bottom,
massive fucking knockers on her.
We've got that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, I think Rogues for him.
Okay. What's his name again?
Kirsty Noam's husband. I can't remember his first name.
He's like a, what is he? No,
it's called bimbofication. He's the head. He's the head of a huge.
What's he done wrong there?
Well, he's done nothing particularly wrong.
He's done something unusual.
He's done something very unusual. And as I say, I'm not going to kink shame anyone, right? I'm not going to kink shame people. It's wrong. It's terrible.
Yes.
We live in a different time now. Thank you. Yeah, go. We live in a different time now, but this was only last week.
Yes.
It's the same time.
Okay.
It's the same time, but it's different time. You used to be able to kink shame people.
You can't say that again.
Stop saying that.
Stop it. Listen, we're going to have to draw it to a close there. Otherwise, we're going to be ringing this bell all night.
I was going to say J. Hoover. Okay, carry on.
So that's it for us
Fucking tits on
for this week. Thanks for listening.
Sorry, him.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, like, review, etc. Also, look out for the Exploded Grenades, which is a regular additional short form content coming to the channel. So basically stuff we forgot to mention in the actual podcast and stuff that comes up sort of during the week that we can't help shouting about. So have a look
because we've
for
got
those.
early onset Alzheimer's.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you.